with Stanley Badon on its head. But today, attendance has petered off seriously at Nigerian football matches. It's only on its way back now. But even then, a good number of people still turned out to watch this game. And I'm sure by the time the game gets underway, it's going to improve even more. Meanwhile, we do owe you a little apology because the table you saw, the log we showed you, actually was pulled from the computer, maybe the wrong compartment of the computer. Because at the moment, Shooting Stars are in 17th place on the log, and they have 20 points. Enyimba, for their part, actually have 31 points as against 29 that we indicated. So, but the bottom line is that Enyimba are still second on the log, behind Rangers International, who lead by 1 point. My name is Bowie Atama, and Ralph Chidozie George is right here by me. Together, we'll run you through this one.
Indeed, Bowie, a spectacular match we're expecting this afternoon. Enyimba is no new customers to Shooting Stars when it comes to the Nigeria Premier League. And of course, they both met all the seasons. And Enyimba has always had the upper hand, but here they've had drawn 3 matches here at Shooting Stars home. And Shooting Stars have only won once here in the last couple of years. And of course, it promises to be exciting. The two teams are coming into this game with not too good a result. Shooting Stars lost in Enugu 3-2 to Rangers last weekend. And of course, it was Enyimba drawing their first game at home to Aqua United. 1-1 it ended. And so today, they all want everything here.
And the team sheets show that Shooting Stars are quite strong in terms of the lineup. You have Dele Ajiboye in goal. Tare Oke. Ajiboye, by the way, is his first start this season. And we have Tare Oke. Mutu Adegoke is also there. Yomi Adigun, of course, ever reliable. Samuel Olabisi, and of course, Okiki Afolabi. For any, well, the officials, first of all, I want to tell you that the center referee is Garba Hamza from Kano State. Sani Muhammad is assistant referee number 1. Kabiru Bashir, assistant referee number 2. And the fourth official, of course, is Sulaiman Egumbi from Oyo State. And then for Enyimba, quite an awesome lineup they have here. Really frightening if you know the pedigree of these players. Chinedu Agwu is in goal. Promise James Uwadiagu Ugu, who used to play for Rangers International. We have Paul Onobi, Ima Anyanwo, Chinedu Udoji, Max Nojobo, Carlo Uche is the captain today, and Bola Salami, Uche Agbo making up the starting lineup. Carlo Uche and Bola Salami, of course, just returned from the national team where they've been preparing for the friendly against the Pharaohs of Egypt. But they had to come back and help their club sides immediately after which I'm sure they would go back to the national team camp. The drums are out. The trumpets are blaring. The cymbals are clanging and clashing. The atmosphere is electric here. It is the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan. And it is a showdown between these two old foes. Shooting Stars used to be WNDC, and then they developed into IICC Shooting Stars. And later yet, they became the 3SC, which is a Shooting Stars Sports Club. And for Enyimba, well, they call them the People's Elephant. And of course, the head coach who is holding forth in the absence of Festus Allen, his name is Busari Kim. They've not been having it a smooth run so far. Of course, Mutu Adekoju, you can see him beside him, who is the general manager of the club. And then the coach for Enyimba, former Super Eagles coach, former under-23 coach, Austin Eguanvon. One of the most reliable defenders in his playing days for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Of course, he was at the World Cup, the very first World Cup that Nigeria attended in the United States of America in 1994. And we're underway. It is Shooting Stars in all blue with white letterings. And Enyimba playing in their away strip this time, white with blue stripes. And that is... traditionally, Enyimba, of course, play in blue themselves, but not today. They are away, they are on white, and they just gave the ball away.
3SC against Enyimba has all the trackings of making of a cracker. And of course, over the years, it has always been so. But as to what this fixture has in store for Nigeria Premier League watchers today, and I expect a great game, which were already on the way here at the Lekon Salami Stadium, newly refurbished Lekon Salami Stadium. It is the second game here being played since the stadium was refurbished and reopened. The first game was a win for Shooting Stars against Kwara United, 1-0 on that day, and that goal was scored that day by Mutiu Adegoke. Mutiu is on parade today for Shooting Stars.
Mutiu Adegoke, of course, who had had a spell in Cote d'Ivoire playing his club football, is back home now and waxing very strong. But an injury, early injury to Rangers International, to Enyimba. Emma Anyanwu, of course, is another Super Eagles material. He had been in and out of the Super Eagles, and he seems to have copped a very early injury here.
Has also played for the under-20 and the under-23 national team. Take a look at what happened to him that time. Well, not properly not cleared there. We'll find a way of taking it again and show you exactly what happened to Emmanuel Anyanwu. The stretcher has been called for, but he won't go onto the stretcher. He decides to walk out of the pitch himself with an ice pack on his forehead. And the supporters are not left out here. These are the supporters. The supporters of Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan. Back in the days, they come in their numbers, but these days, it's no longer so.
Well, they had attempted there, but it wasn't quite accurate enough from Enyimba. Ball bobbling around, and finally Shooting Stars get a free kick. Mutiu Adegoke. He has a sweet left foot, I must tell you. But it's Enyimba now on the counter. A long-range effort, but it was way off target. It was weak as well, coming off the boot of Carlo Uche, the skipper of the side.
Another Nigeria international also played for the under-23 national team when Nigeria failed to make it to the Olympics and that qualifiers held in Morocco.
Well, a bubble of disapproval from the fans here. They obviously don't think that was the right call, but the referee is undaunted. Enyimba trying to get out of that defensive. And that was a great touch, first touch, excellent, but he probably seemed to have taken his eyes off the ball. He used to be a stalwart for Rangers International. Good touches to the ball from Enyimba. That one is blasted away by Chinedu Udoji. Chekalo couldn't control well, and it's Shooting Stars now. Gently nudged backwards by Ibrahim Babalola to Adegoke. Well, a header that didn't quite connect from Okikia Folabi. There is a Shooting Stars throw-in nonetheless. Now level to center referee. Adegoke. And the ball comes forward, a good run, and Shooting Stars looking good, and confusion between the two strikers, not sure what to do with the ball. And oh, it's a corner kick, or is it? Well, finally, it surely is a corner kick now. A little bit of confusion there involving Thomas Adesina, and that was a great opportunity. They weren't sure who was going to hit the ball, and between them, they got so confused that in the end, that opportunity just went a-begging. Shola Adeboye for Shooting Stars. For much of last season, he actually started from the bench. But he's in the starting lineup today. All action player he is. And Wadiegu with the throw for Enyimba. Oh, good football. Shooting Stars coming forward again. But that is given away. Wadiagugu, volley defender he is. Uche Carlo couldn't control very well. Another opportunity for Shooting Stars to go forward. That wasn't through. And great shot, but the referee says there's nothing wrong with that. And the waves play on. With a roar of disapproval, of course, coming from the home fans here. And that's straight to the goalkeeper. And the referee has some stern words there. It's another Enyimba throw. Wadiagugu running in to take it. Labisi just managing to push the ball into touch for that throw in. Austin Eguavan looking pensive. And that opportunity just, well, that is skewed. And finally, Shooting Stars able to get the ball out of the danger zone. And now counter-attacking, a trip from behind brings down Thomas Adesina. And finally, I think the referee has run out of patience. I said it a couple of minutes ago that you wouldn't expect the generosity to last. It did not last. The first card flashed at Enyimba International's Uche Agbo.
And look at that, Uche Agbo just was beaten flat there by Shooting Stars Adesina, but he had to pull his jersey back and failed him. And the referee wasted no time in pulling out the first yellow card of the match for Enyimba's man.
Well, blasted away by Wadiagugu. Bit of confusion in the defense for Enyimba, and Adesina was taking advantage of that. It's a throw into the 18-yard box, but Enyimba easily rebuffed that one. But Enyimba being a little casual about it. Shooting Stars looking slightly the more business-like side. And it's Deboye. A pass that meets its target by some margin. 2 balls on the pitch, and the referee has to get them to remove one of the balls before play could continue. And Carlo Uche, big strapping player he is. Another foul by Rangers Enyimba's Wadiagugu. Wadiagugu still drags me back to Rangers, where he used to ply his trade.
I think look, Wadiagugu just clicking that man's feet, but at the end it was a very poor one coming from Ugu himself. Well, he's just playing his 3rd game for Enyimba International, and this is his 4th start actually. The other 2 came in as substitute, but he's a fantastic defender. Wadiagugu, actually one of the first generation of home-based Super Eagles that formed that home-based Eagles that failed to qualify for the African Championships. There he is. Throwing Shooting Stars. Actually a free kick, and Tarioke is ready for it. Another change of mind. It's a throw-in. You can imagine.
Throw-in from Tare OK for Shooting Stars. That one is headed backwards. It's a corner, a bizarre goal. It would have been if it had gone beyond the goalkeeper. But that's a big man between the sticks for Enyimba, Chinedu Augu.
There was another bad mistake coming from Wadiegu Ugu.
It's a corner kick, lofted in, a very good corner kick for that matter, but no heads were waiting in blue. And it was Kalu Uche who was able to get the ball away, and it's Enyimba counter-attacking. Oh, a slip, a very bad one by Bolan Salami that time. And now ball forward. Uche go for Enyimba. Salami. And now Enyimba still retain possession. Uche go still. And that one searching, ball forward, looking for Carlo Uche, who is not too impressed by the accuracy, not too impressed with the accuracy of that pass. It's an even keel at the moment. 14th minute, it's still goalless here at the Lekon Salami Stadium. It's between Shooting Stars of Ibadan and Enyimba International of Aba. Emmanuel now pushing the ball forward. Enyimba taking it easy. Paul Onobi and Uche Kalu beating them. Onobi again with another opportunity. Decides to find Wadiegu Ugu. Wadiegu going backwards. Enyimba controlling well. Onobi again. Seems to be very active in the middle of the park there. Jumping with the ball, Promise James. Another player that shows a lot of promise. And it's a throw into Enyimba. Most of the balls forward actually trying to seek out Carlo Uche. That's the kind of confidence they seem to have in him.
Exactly, it's a player that any team should be proud of having in their own side, and Enyimba is definitely proud. A player that has given everything.
Very tricky player as well, earning that throw in without much sweat. It's a throw into Enyimba.
Calculation and palming it on the page of the paper, the coach of Shooting Stars, Busari Hakim.
Bolan Salami with a half-hearted effort that was always going to fly over the crossbar.
We might have had one of the fastest goals of the season, if not the fastest, and that's coming from Ado Ekiti, where Rising Stars, Kayode Agbola scored in the 49th second of the match. Just 49 seconds, and he put the side ahead. Shadrach Francis also scored in the 5th minute, so 2-0 against Gombe United. That's in Ado Ekiti. It's Rising 2 and Gombe United 0. It's a very fast-paced encounter there.
Indeed, the backyard still goalless between these two sides, the traditional foes, Shooting Stars and Enyimba International. And Mutu Adegoke wants to slam it with the left foot. He has a good left foot, and Shooting Stars are hoping that they can make something out of this game, this opportunity, but it's going straight to the goalkeeper. No pressure on him whatsoever, and Chinedu Augu simply clutches that one.
The first game played here by Shooting Stars after the refurbished stadium was reopened. It was against Kwara United, and Mutiu Adegoke scored from similar free kick, and it was in the 10th minute of that game that he scored. We are into the 16th minute here, still goalless. That free kick by Adegoke could not find target.
And it's a free kick to Enyimba. Carlo Uche appended there. It'll be interesting to see who takes this free kick for them. Promise James lost the ball forward, and a good one. It almost escaped the goalkeeper, almost flew over his fingertips, but he was able to hold on to the ball.
Promise James came there, lofted that one, And of course, it just went up and all. By the time it came down, it was the goalkeeper that jumped the highest and plucked that one. Delia Jiboye, goalkeeper, former national under-17 goalkeeper, national under-23 goalkeeper, and under-20 goalkeeper also. He's doing a good job in catching that one. But he is down. It landed awkwardly, and it's still down, receiving attention at the moment. While Austin Eguavon dishes out instruction to his players, and they can have time to have a drink of water. There it is again. Jiboye plucked that ball, but landed awkwardly.
Well, it's strange. It's difficult to see what the officials are gesticulating about, suggesting that somebody slammed into him. But actually, the nearest person to him was his own player, and that's Shola Adeboye. So it must be a self-inflicted injury for the team.
They all gave him the space, moved back for him to fall, free fall, and landed awkwardly. The fans are waiting for the action to resume. You need to see the players off your camera, having a drink of water here and there. It's a very, very hot afternoon here in the city of Ibadan. You can see from that fan, you can tell how hot it is here.
Shooting Stars commands one of the oldest supportership. You find people that have supported this club for upwards of 40 years, actually, and they are still waxing very strong. Delia Jiboye finally back on his feet.
So throw into Enyimba International, taken there by Ugu.
And it's Enyimba Salami getting his foot to that one. He's pulled from behind, but stand his ground on Nobi now for Enyimba. And Promise James. Very difficult to relieve of ball. And Promise James running in, but he couldn't just keep it in. And finally, it's a goal kick to Shooting Stars.
I'm surprised. What was he thinking when he kicked that ball with his left foot straight into touch? I thought he would have turned around well with that ball. I'm sure Austin Eguavon is disappointed with that play. Last time the two teams met here, it was Shooting Stars that won by 1-0. It was actually on the 5th of June 2011. 1-0 Enyimba won, or Shooting Stars won rather.
The Shooting Stars trying to get out of the defensive cul-de-sac. Enyimba charging forward again. And Uchabo, well, that was a shot that was actually going off target, but Wadiegu now. Enyimba still putting on the pressure here. Uchabo almost losing that one. But Shooting Stars, and Shola Adeboye, he's a strong, compact player, but in the end, it's a free kick to Enyimba.
It was a very big challenge between Wadiegu and the two Shooting Stars players, but at the end you can see tugging off his jersey there, and it was pulled down, gifting Enyimba a free kick. And it's Wadiegu that has put the ball there, getting set to take it, and so it's going to be a left footer.
It's right, taking it up. Great opportunity for Enyimba and Bola Salami. How they will reel this if the game doesn't go their way in the end. A glorious, glorious opportunity. Look at that again.
It was a good free kick, decent ball that came in from Wadiegu. But at the end, I'm sure, very, very sure that this Enyimba player, Bola Salami, will rule that miss, because all he needed to do was just to tuck the ball into the net because the goalkeeper was displaced already. But poor take by Salami.
Bola Salami trying to make amends. 2 men on him. And it's always going to be very difficult. Shooting Stars wriggle out of that one. A hopeful header, and Enyimba looking a little bit rattled at the moment. Tareoke for Enyimba. Ball backwards, finding his man there, Samuel Wabisi. Wadiagugu helping the ball forward, but it's still, well, that was a really poor first touch. And Kaluche racing through, but the flag has gone up. And, oh well, that's Bola Salami, and the referee kept quiet. The flag was up a long time before the center referee actually saw it. But it would be interesting to take a second look at that.
The assistant referee held that flag up for too long a time, but once again, Adeboye is down. Jiboye, beg your pardon, is down. The goalkeeper of Shooting Stars. Take a look at that. I didn't see any offside rule there. That player was not offside in any way, but then he should have scored. But that offside flag held by the assistant referee stayed off for so long a time, even though I didn't see any offside.
Well, a couple of perhaps no calls by the referee. Mutu Adekpoju is not a happy man. But interestingly, first of all, it is quite doubtful that Bola Salami was offside, and then that tackle on him just at the edge of the 18-yard box, and perhaps should have called for something, but the center referee is not having any of it.
Jiboye receiving all the treatment he needs. We might just have another look at that offside call. As you can see, Bola Salami was onside when this passer came in, clearly onside. And of course, that should have been a foul on him instead of the assistant referee raising his flag for offside. He was not offside at all.
Well, clearly they got it wrong that time. Shooting Stars, the luckier of the two sides. Enyimba would feel hard done by. And it's a free kick, resulting from the offside that was called for Shooting Stars. But Enyimba rebuffed that again for Nobi now. And that's Premise James. Good football from that man. And it's Enyimba coming forward again. Max Nojobo. Ball forward finding Agbo. Luce Carlo just couldn't keep it down. Mutu Adekoju is a tricky player. He's difficult to beat as well. And Enyimba still running forward. It's Enyimba looking good now. Premise James. And an opportunity there for Onyekachi Okoye. I was nudged and went down in the box, but trust that referee. He wasn't going to award anything that time. He seems to be a little bit reticent in his calls. With another opportunity for Enyimba, Bola Salami wants to come back on, and he wants to draw the attention of the referee, who has waved him, come on in. It's a corner kick to Rangers.
To Enyimba rather, from the near side.
Uche Agbo again is about to take that. And, well, I wonder what happened to Adegoke there, but he's back on his feet. The corner kick now from Wadiagugu. Floats it across. Not a bad one at all, but it's a blue-shirted head that got to the ball. And then they were just content to lob the ball back into their opponent's area. Nobi now for Enyimba, looking for Onyekachi Okoye. Confusion between the two players of Enyimba, but finally still Enyimba with the ball. Wadiagugu, and another throw in for his side.
Shooting Stars' fighting spirit have really kept them in this game so far, because Enyimba have been on the front corner so far, but it's all battle from Shooting Stars, and they have it throwing right now. One player that has not really shown here is the man that gave them 2 goals in Enugu, talking about Talabio Lumakinde. He has not, we've not seen much of him in this game today.
Uche go for Enyimba. Enyimba inching forward. Good one from Uche again. Ugu Wadiegu. Enyimba making life difficult for the Shooting Stars.